Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Elite Season 7, featuring Splatterhouse, WANPAKU Graffiti. I am Hans Buttface. On tonight's episode, we will be featuring the first round brackets in the Cesspool League. Let's get right into it and show you how these players got here. In Group Leprechaun, Thurwolf earned the number 1 seed, going a perfect 3-0 in the group stage. Just a Man 114 was the number 2 seed, going 2-1. And over in Group Killer Tomato, Europsilis also went a perfect 3-0, and BTs went 1-1 to earn the second spot in the brackets for this group. He will be taking on Thurwolf in the first round, and Europsilis is going to be taking on Just a Man 114 right now.
Hey, welcome everybody to another Elite Season 7 match. We've got some Cesspool bracket action with Justin Mann going up versus Europsilis, and I'm joined by Coach Crab here on comms. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you tonight, Edge?
Not too bad. Just had a nice sub sandwich and ready to see some fine Splatterhouse action.
There's nothing like Splatterhouse to follow a nice sub sandwich, don't you agree?
Oh yeah, totally.
So who do you like in this race? What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I mean, I like Just. I haven't really met, or talked to Uro that much, but he seems like a nice guy too. But Uro has been playing pretty tough in all of his matches, so I think he's got the edge here.
Let's take a look and have a little dance contest right now. See who's going to put up the better move.
And got some veteran moves by Uro. Just gonna conserve his energy. Justin's hopping around, like he's wired on coffee.
Well, you got to get the pre-game jitters out, I guess. Alright, so as these guys are pretty much identical going into this, which is not very surprising considering that the race has just started. Euro taking these guys out. This beginning part of the it looks like someone is hosting. Congratulations, Euro. Getting a couple of viewers right there. That's always a good thing, is.
Yeah, and it's a Pikachu too. I think that's a Pikachu, right?
Yeah, I had no clue what it was, whatever it was.
I don't know, some kind of Pokemon.
And we are pretty much synced as we continue on to the next part of the level. Let's see how these guys do as they enter their first half.
Yeah, gotta see if the bookshelf boss gives them the business.
Yeah, the library can be kind of a hazardous place sometimes. Let's take a look to see how these guys handle it.
Yeah.
The shaking always bothers me. It throws off your character a little bit, kind of makes him moonwalk or something, and it just it's always thrown me off a little bit.
Yeah, we've got the Anchorage Library Simulator going on right now.
With Euro doing a interesting strategy of constantly walking back and forth like that. Let's see how these guys handle the Reagan boss from The Exorcist. What was the demon's name in The Exorcist? Do you remember?
I don't know. You just mentioned Reagan, and I just thought of Faye Reagan, so sorry, distracted for a little bit.
Most people think of Ronald Reagan, but yeah, Reagan was actually the character's name in the movie The Exorcist. The girl who gets possessed. Moving on to level 2, it looks like Euro has taken a slight lead from the Reagan boss. And this room's a little bit tricky right here. You have to make that immediate jump. Sometimes people like to just hold right and end up realizing that they made their mistake after they enter the.
So this one can be tricky, but Uro seems like he's got a pretty good setup for this going, and is hitting both of those knives pretty regularly. So this should be over quick.
Yeah, not bad. Still about the same distance between the two, with Euro with a slight lead. During that mini boss, I always like to try to keep the chickens at bay. I try to hit them like crazy after the knives go up into the air. There seems to be a little break period right there where you can just take out the chicken.
All right, now question I have is, are we gonna see upper route or lower route when the rat boss shows up?
Yeah, I always go for the sewer route, staying in the sewer. It's just safer and not really worth the risk of the about 2.5 seconds that you save from being on top. So that's the route that I would choose, but let's see what these guys decide. Maybe they have more fortitude than I. And apparently they don't. But hey, I can't really criticize them for that.
Yeah, better safe than sorry. And away they go. Uro with a very, very slight lead. So nice close race so far.
Yeah, pretty linear so far. Euro maintaining a slight lead. No lead changes yet, but close race is a good race, no matter what the time. Unless it's like what was that? The Twitch Olympics that we had. The Elite Olympics that we had back with the Mario 2 race. I can't remember who Jacquemus's opponent was, but I think the race went on for days.
It's still going on, isn't it?
Oh yeah, let's maybe we should just tune into that instead. No, we gotta stick with these guys.
I'm sure Hans can give us the score after this game.
Yeah, he can give us an update.
We got double shotgun strats for this.
We just need a bottom line. You know, like remember when ESPN2 came out with the bottom line? It was like the most amazing thing ever. That's all we need.
Oh yeah, I would totally be up for that. Knob center.
I like it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's get started.
All right, into the spider boss now, and I heard there's a little bit of RNG with this.
Yeah, I have no idea how it works. I just try to kill the spiders. I mean, that's really the best you can hope for in a race, is it not?
Yeah, that's usually the tack that I take. Try to take them out as fast as possible, even if I do take a little bit of damage. There is a lot of healing on the way to the goat boss. So.
The RNG might have something to do with how long they're prancing above your head. You know, when they find you and they stay above you, it might have something to do with that, because it seems like how long they spend above your head seems to be the same amount of time the whole time. So it might have something to do with that, but I'm really not sure.
It's still pretty close match through this. Uro with a little bit more of a lead.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the game changer will be in this race, if there is a game changer. But so far, pretty straightforward. It's also interesting to see the different strategies that people use in this. I mean, sometimes people can pick up the shotgun right here. They prefer shotgun strats with the goat boss. But I don't find that the shotgun helps me a lot against that boss. Do you?
No, and I think it actually slows you up quite a bit going down the hallway there before the boss. I don't know. I would say I can hit those bird things about 30% of the time, but Just and Uro are they're doing a pretty good job of hitting those.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that. I've tried several times, and I never seem to get the first one, so I just kind of gave on it, and the strategy that Euro is using right now is pretty much what I stick with.
Yeah, pretty clean goat fight, and this is a really nice stun lock here.
Yeah, good job by Euro there of taking out all of the bats or the butterflies, whatever you think they are, and that way they wouldn't interfere with the goat fight. but Justin Man's still not too far behind.
All right, got the shotgun right outside the fly boss here. See where Just picks it.
And Justin Man picks up the shotgun as well. A pretty standard race so far between these two guys, sticking to pretty much the normal speedrun strats.
All right, and Uro is done right now. Gains another level too. Seems to be doing a little bit better in that department as well.
Yeah, Justin Man struggled a little bit right there. Wasn't quite shooting the gun at his peak. Looked like he was hitting it a little bit too early at times. But got through unscathed, which is important. So we'll see what happens in level 4 now with people hanging out inside the lake with their legs sticking out.
Yeah, I don't quite know what's going on there. Just seems like an awfully long handstand.
Probably practicing holding her breath. Did you ever do that when you swam at the pool during the summer? Practice holding your breath?
Can't say that I have. But I don't know, maybe there's some blitzball players out there or something.
Had some pretty competitive kids at the pool back when I was a kid, and we would always see who could hold their breath the longest. Luckily, none of us ever passed out. Getting past the sharks now. These guys are pretty much just an auto-scrolling portion, and heading up to one of the biggest RNG bosses in the game, Mr. Wicked Knife and Fork.
Yeah, depending on where he shows up after throwing out those Deku nuts, can really, if you miss a cycle, it feels real bad.
Yes, it does, and this is the boss that I probably struggle with the most. It always seems like right where I have him, where I want him, then he appears like completely on the opposite side of the screen of the side that I choose. Kind of like what just happened to Euro right there.
Yeah, both of them missed a cycle on that one. But Justin Uro doing a pretty good job of hitting the boss at the top of the fork, so good knowledge of the hitboxes.
You can't get too mad at a 7 cycle in that fight, but I still do. One of the busiest levels at this point now, jumping through all the spiders and taking a lot of intentional damage in this level.
Yeah, a lot of times just easier to take the damage boost than, hit all of those precise jumps. So if you have some health to burn, you can definitely save some time here. And oh god, it's the screamers.
Yeah, the screamers. I find even more difficult than the screamers is the room that Justin Man just went through. Trying to time your jump over those bamboo sticks just correctly is pretty difficult. It feels almost pixel perfect.
Yeah, so good screamer room from Uro and Justin, though. I think Just got hit once and Uro made it through clean.
Yeah, Uro, inch by inch, seems to be gaining a little bit more time on Justin as the race goes on, but who knows what will happen. Euro getting the bucket. When is the time when you decide as you're going through this level and you decide to pick up the bucket?
I always get the bucket, and really, if you don't have very much health, then you really need it to survive. And if you come out of this fight with a decent amount of health left, you can skip that initial burger, and it speeds up things a little bit. So, kind of like the time it takes you to pick up the bucket, you can just save that by not picking up that burger. So, I don't know. I always get it.
Yeah, usually I decide to pick up the bucket if I have less than half of my health. That's usually when I make that decision. Because sometimes the intentional damage that you take in that level, it's a little bit too much depending on where the candy spawns, and also depending on if you screw up or not some of the jump. Level 6 now. These guys heading through the only level without a boss. picking up lots of candy on the. You know, the nice thing about the Wolfman boss that they just went through, even if you only have like one piece of health left, there's a couple of early burgers in level 6, so it really doesn't matter how much health you finish up with it at the end of level 5.
Yeah, and you know, just you know, down to 2 health at the start of this level is back full, so lots of opportunity to recover here. And Uro is into the house though.
And Uro avoiding the way to beat this level 100%, going through that door right there, as most of our streamers do, except for BGT and me, who decide to enter the door because we're full.
Oh, that was definitely a lot of fun, and you know, hadn't seen a true ending race in a while, so thanks for that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what was really fun about it is BGT challenges me to it, and I said, well, I've never done it before. Is it linear? And he goes, oh yeah, of course, it's linear. Just go right through. And then there's like an option of where you have to choose between 3 different doors, and you have to jump up this roof as well, and you can't really tell that that's where you're supposed to be jumping up or something like that. So yeah, he was leading me on quite a bit right there. But hey, that's okay. It's BGT. You gotta love him for it.
You had the BGT hustle. Well, it was still a good game regardless. It was pretty close too.
It was. It was a good race. Making it through the clocks, making it through the skulls is Uro. Now Justin Man trying to make his way through the clocks. Looks like he's doing pretty.
Yeah, makes it through the Buzz Thunder room. Okay.
Oh, I did not know we had a room named the Buzz Thunder room.
Well, it's 1 letter off of what he usually says, so makes sense.
Gotcha. And we head into the final boss for Uro, so let's see how well he does against Pumpkinhead.
Ooh, real clean Screamer room for Justin. Nice movement there.
That was impressive, and he used a different strategy than what the one that usually works 100%. So that was very smooth. A lot of style points earned right there.
Yeah, wonder if that was something he just brew up on his own, but looked real smooth doing it.
It could have been an improv thing, which would actually make it even more impressive. So Uro is going to have to miss a couple of hits right here for Justin Man to have the opportunity to catch up. I think you lose about 3 seconds for each miss, each time he bobs up and down. Maybe not quite that much, but somewhere around.
Yeah, both runners definitely doing a real good job on this, dodging the screensaver pumpkin and you know, getting those cycles on the first opportunity.
Gonna be some pretty decent times here as this race is winding down. We are at the home stretch, and if Uro can just continue to execute here, it looks like he's going to pick up the victory. But anything can happen in the Elite Tournament. So let's just wait a little bit longer and see.
Yeah, if Just has a pack of Mentos, now is the time to bust those out.
I could not agree with you any more than that. They are the fresh maker.
Oh, it's looking like the fresh maker won't be enough to get Just back into this race. Uro with the final hit, and he's going to finish with an impressive time.
Yeah, this is going to be a really good, really solid race for Uro right here. And Justin Man, it's going to be a really solid race for him. 17:49. I could be mistaken, but that might be... No, wait a minute. I think Eunice has done a better time than that, but it's up there. It might be the second best time at the tournament, so...
Yeah, anytime you can get a 17 or a sub 18 in a race, well done overall. So congrats to Uro, and really good job for Just as well. Get some Melvin hat with 1815, and don't feel bad, Just. That's a real good time too.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. A Melvin hat with an 1815. I mean, you really can't be too upset with that. I mean, it was a good, solid race, good execution by both runners.
So unfortunately, just going home, Uro moving on in the tournament. So we will send this back to Hans unless you've got anything else to add, Coach.
Yep, congratulations to Uro and Justin, man. You put up a great fight, but better luck next time.
Hey everybody, welcome to the bracket round for the Cesspool. We've got BTs versus Thurwolf. I'm joined by Link Sevens. How are you doing?
Doing well. What's going on, Unos?
Hey, watching video games on the internet. It's pretty great.
I hear there's like a whole platform for that.
All right, we've seen that Thurwolf has used the reset and continue tech to skip the opening cutscenes and the look around.
You know, this isn't the first race where I've seen this, but it looks like we have Team Brown versus Team Green.
Team Brown and Green has been a big deal this year, hasn't it?
As for me, it's been a good year.
Which one are you more partial to?
You know, I just after watching some of these races and seeing that, I think I've discovered. I looked at my own setup and I've discovered that my CRT is Team Green and my capture card is Team Brown.
Yeah, I believe NTSC stands for never twice the same color.
I believe that, and also no yellow.
And also there is no yellow at all. We've done the thriller dance, and if any of our contestants, and we're doing a dance, we didn't acknowledge it, so we apologize for that.
Yeah, I was too busy thinking about color, so I missed out on the dancing. I miss a lot of things.
But I do like, it's interesting that the colors are different, and it shows in some of the later stages where there's like a gradient to the floor, and it's much more pronounced in some captures than others. Well, Thurwolf is hanging on to about that lead that he started with by using the reset tech, about 2.5 seconds.
I think the doll head is probably like the first. Yeah, who's gonna lose it and have to go chase it down and lose 20 seconds for no reason.
Yeah, I first started, I was losing a good 10 seconds when it didn't go well, and now when it doesn't go well, I just either die or reset or lose 5 seconds. So yeah, it's still terrible. I think BT's made up a little bit of ground here. These guys are both, we're in the bracket phase. Both of these people have made it this far based on their abilities. Thurwolf hits it left somehow.
Yeah, I think it was like he kind of over jumped or something and got the wrong side of it.
BT was being patient with the head. He was waiting for it to give it a good swing, but it doesn't deal any extra damage or let him hit a home run or anything like that. Which pitch from Christopher Robin's, or from Winnie the Pooh Home Run Derby is the head most like?
Oh, that's a good question. I've not actually played that game, but I saw somebody streaming it, and I don't know that I remember what all the pitches were, but I think people should be impressed that I actually know what game you're talking about.
That's great. I'm glad we at least made that connection with this.
Yeah.
Here we are at the knife and chicken fight. And we got to do the obligatory. When I first played the game, I thought I was supposed to be killing the chickens, but actually you have to kill the knives.
Yeah, I think, you know, when we did this back in Big 20, I'm sure when I first did this fight, I thought that too, because it seems like the knives are, like, smaller, and they're, like, projectile, and, like, that's the thing stopping you from killing the boss, right?
Right, exactly. That is exactly what it is. In the Big 20, what was the goal for this game? It wasn't the whole game, was it?
It was full game, actually.
It was. Nice.
Yeah.
Even the final boss.
That's really a pretty long goal for a Big 20 game, because they usually only pick maybe a couple games in that like 20-minute territory.
Yep.
They try to keep a lot of the goals to, you know, 10, 5 or 10.
Thurwold's going the safe route. Jump and hit. Good job.
I actually think it was kind of a wise choice, because that was the like all Famicom Big 20. So in terms of just like Famicom games that have been popular, I think this was a good one for a full game goal.
Yeah,
it's not too punishing.
No, it's not too punishing.
Even if you came into it blind.
Yeah. No,
you do the old infinite mystery. I'm just gonna show up this weekend and play for 40 hours or whatever. And
yeah, he's got some. Wow, I couldn't possibly even do it. But this is when we first got this game for this tournament. I never played it before, and this is like the easiest game I've ever had in my life to complete. It was. I mean, it's a really straightforward game.
Did you play? Because I think this might have been before you started. Have you played the Yumi Penguin Monogatari before?
I've never played it.
Oh, that would be a good one for you to just blind play for fun someday. It's much easier than this game even.
We'll see if it pops up in the Edgeworth 20. I wouldn't be surprised.
It could.
Now here we are. We have a minute to talk about whatever we want, but we haven't given some stats here yet. Thurwolf has an average time in the round robin of 18:45, and BT has it's like a 21:39, I think. But clearly, BT's playing well above a 21:39 here. But Thurwolf's averages would have led, I am told by Johnny Stats, at least half the divisions of the 6 that we have.
Yeah, I think there have been a lot of like 18, 19 sort of times, so... You know, with just a little bit of practice, you know, maybe you take a few extra hits on a boss, collect a couple extra candy, maybe fall here or there. You can still kind of get into that 19 range after, you know, 6 or 8 runs.
BT's stepping on every can there to get his life refilled because he took quite a bit of damage. He has 5 shots.
That in some of my earlier runs too.
4 shots. Is he gonna refill the shotgun before he goes in here, or is this the church? Oh, it's the church.
Key question though is, have you collected the bell?
Collected the what?
The bell, the church bell.
The church bell?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, it's an Easter egg of sorts, I guess. If you know, the bell makes that crazy like church bell sound, but if you just like stand there and don't go in the door for a while, the bell will like fall out of the church.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow. Man, I don't have the, you know, this isn't the kind of game where I sat around and tried to find weird secrets. I was just trying to go fast. That's really cool. It doesn't do anything though?
I don't even know if it does anything. Like you collect it and it makes a sound. I don't know if it gives you like health or anything, or it just, I don't know. But
that's interesting.
Yeah. This game does have like a lot of funny little things, and
Yeah, the 100%, you know, the good ending stuff is completely silly. Well, Thurwolf has a shotgun here. This will be nice and quick.
yeah, BT's grabs his shotgun too.
Yeah. Thurwolf.
Still kind of right in there, still pretty close.
Thurwolf's firing off some bunch shots there at the end. Just having a good old time. Yeah, you can't shoot too early. BT was shot a little early, but it wasn't punished too badly for it. We've seen, I think it was Random Effect who he got really hosed by the shotgun not hitting the boss fly. It's really unusual. Thurwolf's here in one of the toughest platforming sections of the game to go full speed. In fact, I think it's impossible.
I don't know that I found really a good way through that.
No. You have to stop at some point, similar to the clocks. The clock room you also have to stop. BT actually managed to take like a Mega Man style damage boost forward there. Alright, fork and knife boss.
It's just such a strange boss fight, really.
So, I mean, this guy's throwing baked potatoes at us, right? At Rick? That's what people say, they're baked potatoes or something?
I don't know. I just thought of them as like rocks, but I suppose they could be vegetables. Why not?
He has a fork and a knife? I just don't even know what this is a reference to.
No, maybe there's some like ninja movie or something, but you know, you'd think you'd make it like, you know, another thing is maybe they had like sprite limit issues, and they were like, oh, we want to make a pitchfork, only we can't spare the sprites for it, so
We can't make we can't make
we'll
it.
just make it like an 8x8 regular fork.
I was getting ready to do a deep dive in this in Japanese, you know, bad movie culture or something.
That could be. I mean, that could be that, right? They have.
Yeah, it could. And you know how hard it would be to find, because I mean, clearly it'd be a very bad movie.
Well, and you'd have to like probably read some forums in Japanese or something, and like
Oh,
that can't be easy.
Thurwolf's coming up on the boss. See if he gets a pail here. Yep. Ooh, doesn't get the forward boost from it.
Even like a bunch of the RPG runners that are like, oh yeah, we run the Japanese version because it's faster text, and then they just like read. They're like, I just know it's the thing I want is the third menu item. I don't.
Yeah.
I kind of know what it looks like, right? But I don't like read it.
Yeah. The Super Mario RPG is one of those where it saves like 8.5 minutes. They've got a weird leaderboard that's just a spreadsheet, and they don't really actually know exactly how much time you lose on the US version. They just say it's about 8.5 minutes. It's actually route specific.
I mean, and that when you're in that territory, right? Like, how much does it matter? If you're like it saves 8 seconds over a 2-hour run, you're like, does it really? Or how do you? But maybe if you're looking at the tasks or whatever, then you'd know. But
yeah,
if it's 8 minutes, then you're like, okay, it's definitely worth like just memorizing all the menuing.
The I mean, TASs are typically our TASs are made using a US version if available, right?
It's really it's kind of up to whoever is making it and submits it, but kind of the general rule is to do whatever's faster or more entertaining.
Yeah, entertainment value.
So a lot of times TASs will pick whichever one's faster, but there are exceptions where they said, well, you know, it doesn't make much difference.
Yeah. Zelda 1 would be, I think, 12 seconds faster or something like that, but they don't use it. Let's see.
Yeah, that's a little strange, actually.
Yeah, it makes it difficult in the community to argue for playing the Japanese version. They're very resistant to that. We got Thurwolf's on to the final stretch here. We'll be entering a series of, you know, the final difficult rooms here. Fly room.
It's one of those things that I kind of forget to think about, like when we did City Connection. We had done a bunch of it, and somebody was like, hey, are there any differences from the Japanese? And we looked at it, and it's like, oh, the cutscene in between levels is 1 frame shorter. So we'll just take the free 1 frame per level, even though the rest of it's synced. So.
Nice. Yeah, I got both versions when I checked that game out, and they also have like different title screens.
Yeah, title screens and the cutscene, just the image or whatever is different, but the you know, time-wise, you save a frame per cutscene. So here's your next question: have you visited the bathroom?
I have. One time I've been in there.
One time.
It's pretty. It's really weird, and I kind of want to go back sometime. I don't even remember what happens. Do plungers attack you, or what is it?
There's, I don't know, some weird enemy like pops up, and it's not even that dangerous, but it'd be one of those like, it's like, you know, hey, here's a bunch of free experience, and then a Coke machine with free health, like right before the final boss, if you were like struggling, which is kind of nice, actually.
Yeah, maybe get 1 more bar of health for the final boss. This game kind of has a little bit of a Castlevania 2 level up system, if you think about it. Like, in Castlevania 2, you kill a bunch of enemies, you collect hearts, and the hearts give experience, and you gain a little bit of a, you know, extra health bars.
I guess I see that comparison. It's a little more linear than Castlevania 2.
Yeah. CV2 is actually really kind of wonky, but it makes sense if you understand it, but it can also be confusing. No. It's got the pumpkin boss. Thurwolf got here significantly earlier. I think there's not a whole lot to say about that, really.
Yeah, I mean, unless he took like a big chain of you know, knockback, he probably has enough health to face plant anything pretty much.
Yeah, how many hits we have left here? Just Thurwolf has to be, I mean, maybe only 10 hits left, I don't know. I think he's been in. Oh no, there it is.
Oh, there it is. I figured it was getting close, but
This
is
this
a little short on health here, but it'll probably be okay. It wasn't too far behind.
Yeah. BT, I mean, he has 3 bars of health still. That's as many hearts as he had last time he ran a game, Zelda 1 and SGDQ. So Thurwolf's our winner with a time of 18:28, only 4 seconds off his best time from the round robin. BT gets an 18:55, which is not a bad time.
Yeah, still under that 19 minutes, so...
Yeah. To get the Melvin hat,
So-
anyway.
Yeah,
Sorry.
not good enough. Not good enough today, so...
No, so Thurwolf will be moving on to the finals in the Cesspool. To face, I don't know who yet. Perhaps we don't know. I'm sure Hans will tell us. But... And BT's, his run will end here. I guess that means that he will, if he comes back next season, he'll remain in the Cesspool. Thurwolf has a shot to. I think Thurwolf automatically move up because he got to the finals.
I think that's true. I think it's
Yeah.
top 2 and bottom 2. Alright, I think that's it for us. Thanks,
It is.
Unos.
Yeah, thanks Link. Thanks for coming.
Send it back.
Yeah, Hans.
And congratulations to Europsilis and Thurwolf. You'll be seeing that final next Friday night. Also remind you that this Sunday night, you'll catch the other 4 bracket matchups. Unos versus D-Pad Danny, Coach Crab versus Buzz Thunder from the Upper Deck, and Angry Larry versus Edgestream, and Jam Eviler versus Armageddon Time in the bowl. And once again, that's coming to you on Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm Hans Buttface, and this has been an abbreviated, sickly, episode number 9 for the Elite Tournament Season 7. We'll see you guys on Sunday. Knob.